started.
Okay, so let me share my screen. So first we'll try to understand Maven more in details. So because we touched it at a high level and with multiple things yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll try to cover more in details with respect to Maven, and followed by we'll jump to Spring Boot. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
fine. So first thing we have to understand Maven. Okay, what are the things terminology that we need to remember with respect to Maven? Okay,
Okay.
so Maven is just a project management tool. So Maven is called as project management, or I can say build tool or a
Okay.
dependency management tool. Okay. So why
Okay.
people are called this particular tool as dependency management? There is a reason, because in your regular development activities, right, your Java application might depending on various other third-party libraries.
Yeah.
Okay, you can just visualize from Java that guy is provide you a core features in the form of collection framework, JDBC, I mean database connectivity and a server development. But the rest of the things, like if you want to trigger an email, you need to depend on some other third party. I mean, Java community, right? I mean, the people who are working on Java, they are going to contribute their learnings or some of the best practices, or few other utilities in the form of a jar file. Okay,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Suppose example, assume that I am a Java developer. Okay, so I thought of, okay, these features are useful for many of the other developers. That is what my thought. So in that case, what I'm going to do there, right? So whatever the piece of code I develop, I'm going and provide to the community. So I would like to say to the community, guys, these are the features which are offered by my piece of code. If you want to, you can use this piece of code,
Okay.
right? So how do I distribute that piece of software to the other fellow developers, right? So that is in the form of a jar file.
Okay.
Okay. So I am going to compress my source code, right? I am going to package that as a jar file. That jar file is given to the community. So whoever is interested, they can use for their regular day-to-day activities.
Okay.
Okay, that you are going to get as a in the form of a jar file. So suppose example, while developing your application, if you are using the other piece of code in your application, then you have to include that jar file into your application. How we
Oh,
did in the JDBC part, right? MySQL character.jar.
yeah. Yeah.
That is one we included. Okay?
Yeah.
So similarly, if your application is depending on some other, I mean, that is manually I downloaded, right? I downloaded and I kept on my desktop and I included into my build part
Build
like
part.
this.
Yeah.
Right click on the application and things like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that is how I did. But why should I do that if I don't know the version or I don't know where to download? Again, a problem, right?
Yeah. Correct.
So you need to spend good amount of time in internet. You may download one version, but that is not supported by the other jars which are there in your application. Okay, so all
Yeah.
these are problems basically. So
So,
that is the reason.
I got one question. So, like, if I use the older version and
Mhm.
uh, in the future, if I try to operate with a updated version,
Mm.
does it work, or
Mm.
I need the,
Yeah,
or like,
you need to update it.
sorry?
You need to update to latest version.
Okay,
And I
but
mean, okay,
what
I
I'm
need
trying
to
to
tell
say,
you in. Mhm.
Yeah, if like I am
Go
developing
ahead.
one code right now with some
Mm-hmm.
X
Mm-hmm.
point two version,
Okay.
and after some time, like after 6 months or a year, the version got updated with
Mm-hmm.
X.5. So can I use the same code
Okay.
with the that version, like a updated version, or I need the downgraded version only?
Yeah. Okay. Fine then. The answer is you can go with the downgraded version. Okay. See, simply I can say. So Java is currently using in the industry Java 11. I mean Java is released Java 11 version. Of course Java 14 also,
Okay.
right? But we are working on Java 8. So suppose example it at what time you need to update, right? Suppose example you are using a class called xyz.class. Okay.
Okay.
Assume that we have a class called xyz class. In 1.3.2 test 1.3.2 dot jar. So there is a jar file called test 1.3.2 jar where you are using XYZ class in your application. Okay. This is
Yeah.
third party. Assume that this is a third party jar file. Tomorrow this get released a new version. Okay.
Okay.
Test hyphen 1.5.4 dot jar. Okay. If this guy released a new version, okay, test 1.5 dot jar, 5.4 jar, as long as the XYZ class in the particular jar, you can still use that. You can go with the downgraded version,
Okay.
no problem. But there is a concept called deprecation. There's a concept called deprecation. Deprecation means this guy is telling boss XYZ class going forward, I'm going to discontinue. Instead of XYZ class, there is an alternate class or there is an updated version of this particular class is available, you can use.
Okay.
So first he is going to start with the deprecation. Deprecation in the sense, he is going to give you a notification saying that boss, this is going to be removed soon. If you want to update your code now, you can update. So
Okay.
after deprecation in 1.5.4, in next cycle, test dot 1.6.0 or 1 dot. In that phase, he is going to remove x, y, z dot class will be removed. So during that time, you definitely switch to this part. Till here, you can go with 1.3.2, but it is recommended to upgrade your class.
Okay.
If at all this particular class is still there with this jar and this particular jar also available, then you really need not to upgrade to the latest version. You can still continue with your old version. No problem. Right? So this is kind of a notice period. Right? So he is going to notify. Soon I am going to remove. Okay. If there is no such notification, then you can go with the old version. No
Okay.
problem. That is what exactly it is happening. Right? So in Java world, whatever the library that we are using, right? So if it is used, right, that is called as mainstream. Mainstream in the sense ready to use. I mean, you can use without any issue, no problem. So deprecation means it is ready to remove at any given point of time. Better you upgrade it to something else. Or the alternate also he is suggesting. He'll suggest you the alternate also. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
right? So deprecation means in the subsequent release, I'm going to remove this particular feature. Try to do the appropriate changes. It's a kind of heads up.
Okay.
So coming back to Maven, is your question answered?
No, no. Yeah, like the doubt is cleared.
Okay. So now, so Maven is dependency management tool. Why? Because if your application is depending on any other application, you really need not to download manually. Okay. To download it manually, tell me the dependency which you want. I will download on behalf of you. So that is a responsibility is taken care by your Maven. It will
Okay.
connect to internet and get the required version. And in future, see, suppose example today it is 1.3.2 Java. You download it from internet.
Okay.
You thought of update to 1.5.4, but you don't know how to download or where to download, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So why should I do that? If I tell to my boss, previously I used to use 1.3.2, download 1.5.4 instead, because I need that particular Java. Then he is going to download it for you and make it available for you,
Okay.
right? So that is the uh, meaning of dependency management, and why people call it as a build tool. So why? Because you really need not to worry about packaging of your application, right? You want to package your application as jar file. You tell me how to package your application.
Okay.
You want me to package that as a jar file? You want me to package that as a var file? You want me to package that as an APK file? Okay, I'll do that. Don't right click on your application and export button, and don't do that manually, right? Now I'm
Yeah.
doing this thing, right? Export. Don't do that. You tell me how to package your application, or the extension you tell me, I'll package accordingly.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So that is the reason your Maven is called as build tool. Okay. So your Maven contains a couple of things. So first thing is, or I can say sections in Maven. So first thing is you need to identify or you need to understand dependency section. Okay. So dependency is nothing but it is a jar or a collection of jars. When suppose example, if your application is depending on a particular jar, you have to specify the dependency in dependency section. I
Yeah.
mean, so your Maven contains the key file is here pom.xml file. POM stands for project object model.
Okay. Project object model.
Yeah. So this is typically an XML file. Okay. So it's an XML file. Inside this particular XML file, you have a section called dependency. So dependency is indicating, see if you look at our previous example, Spring Boot demo, open your pom.xml file. See, there is a section called dependencies. Inside that I have one dependency. So dependency nothing but it is a single jar or it contains a group of jars. Okay, it might be a single jar or a set of jar files. Okay, simple.
Okay.
If you add a dependency in your pom.xml, your Maven will download a single jar file from internet, or it will download a group of jars from internet.
Okay.
Okay, if you add one dependency in your pom.xml. Okay, and then after dependency, there is a section called plugins. Okay, this everything is available. You really need not to do anything, but you just to want to understand what are the various sections available and each section what exactly that is doing for you. Okay, as I said yesterday, you really need not to touch this file every day, right? This is not the place where you are going to write the code. This is already predefined and everything is set for you. Okay, the only thing is we need to understand what are the various sections and their responsibility.
Okay.
Okay, so first is dependency and the second one is plugins. So if you look at the plugin section, if you look at the plugins section, see plugins, we have a bunch of plugins available over internet. Each and every plugin has, it is doing some work for you. Your dependency is downloading a couple of jar files or a single jar file from internet, and your plugin is doing some task on behalf of you, right?
Yeah.
So what does that task basically? So as I said, right, you're doing a packaging of your application, be it a jar file or AAR file or WAR file. So we need to add a plugin for each and every requirement of yours. There is a dedicated plugin which is created by the community and make it available in the form of a plugin. If you
Okay.
add that plugin to your application, it will do that for you. Like example, see, your Spring Boot is providing a plugin called Spring Boot Maven plugin. Okay.
Okay.
If you use this plugin, this will package your application as a jar file by default. One example. Okay. Spring Boot Maven plugin is packaging your application as a jar file. If you want to see, if you want to package your web application as a WAR file, so Maven, see, Maven plugin for WAR. All we need to add a simple plugin, and this is again uh, not a regular work. Suppose example WAR. WAR plugin. See, inside this particular plugin section, let me go to, where is that WAR plugin? Yeah, see, inside this plugin section, we have to simply copy this particular plugin section and put it in your application. Automatically, your application will be packaged as a WAR file.
Okay.
I mean, each and every plugin has a task, and it is doing some sort of work, right?
Yeah.
So packaging as a WAR file, and if you want to exclude some directories, right? If you want to download Tomcat or some other binaries, right?
Yeah.
So, or there are a couple of options. Like example, in people generally using while developing the SOAP-based web services, we have a plugin to generate a Java classes from a WSDL file. So basically, it is in SOAP world. I'm just telling you for your understanding. So plugin has a specific task. Okay,
Okay.
plugins are doing the activity like package the app as WAR file or AAR file or generating Java code from XML, etc. Like this. That is the responsibility of the plugins. You really need not to do any plugin writing those. Plugins
O-
already available. All we need to download what is the appropriate plugin is available for your work. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a section called dependency. We have this section called plugins. And what else we have? Okay. So these two are important. One is dependency section and the plugin section. So your each and every dependency is added inside this particular dependency stack. So dependencies is the parent for dependency. So inside your dependencies, ideally you need to add the dependency tags. Okay.
Okay.
Plugins are part of your build. Build is a root for plugins. So each and every plugin you have to add inside. There is a section called plugins. And apart
Okay.
from that, we are going to get some more information like the group ID and artifact ID. Artifact ID is nothing but finally your application name is going to be appear like this. Okay.
Okay.
See, spring boot demo. If you look at my target folder, see, artifact name only, right? Spring
Yeah.
boot demo, and then followed by your version and followed by your extension. By default, it is packaging your application as a jar file. Why it is packaging it as a jar file? If you notice, while creating the application, see here I'm mentioning boss package this application as jar file. That is the reason this application, your Maven is package this as a jar file,
Okay. Yeah.
correct? And here
Right.
you can configure multiple options. So what is the Java version that you are using, right?
Yeah.
So many things you can configure under your property section. Okay. So most of the time it is pre-built for you. We really need not to touch this file unless until there is a desperate need. We'll try to quickly look at, and there are some more other terminologies we'll try to look at.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
I lost my connection and I'm
Okay.
back on.
Okay.
Okay, let me share my screen. So if you download STS, right, or if you start working the Spring Tool suite, we really need not to download Maven software explicitly. Actually, Maven is from Apache. If you click on download Maven, okay, you can download any one version.
Okay.
Actually, it is not really required as long as if you are using Spring Tool suite. By default, it will download and make it available for you. Okay, but if some people are not using STS and like example, uh, build team or some others, right? The people who are not the actual developers, right? I mean, there are a couple of people who are take your code and just build their application and deploy. They are not coding. They are not doing any code basically. So in such
Okay.
scenario, people used to download this Maven, especially DevOps engineers, right? Generally in the organizations, your deployment or your application deployment is done by DevOps engineers, right?
Yeah.
So for the DevOps engineer, they don't have or they are not using any IDE like Eclipse or STS.
Okay.
If you are using STS or Eclipse, inbuilt it will ship with Maven. But if the people who does not have the access or who is not doing any coding, right, like DevOps engineers, generally they will prefer to set up Maven in their local. Okay. In that scenario, they are going to download Apache Maven and they are going to install it. Okay. So for us, it is not required. So if you want to download, you can download anyone like this anything is fine, right?
Okay.
So once you download and install, if it is working, actually it is set up. You simply issue a command called mvn. So if you issue this command, or else you can just simply check mvn hyphen version. So it is there in my system. It is installed. mvn hyphen version will give you what is the maven version which is installed in your system. Okay,
Okay.
and this command will work only if you explicitly or manually install, right? But if you're using STS, right, it is not at all required. Remember that. Okay, so now we'll try
Okay.
to create. This is not at all required. Okay,
Okay.
and we'll try to create a Maven application and we'll explore more options or more things to Maven. Okay, so go to here, go to file, Maven project, and click next. So here you are seeing various options. I mean, using Maven, you can create wide varieties of applications. See, here it is showing a group ID, artifact ID, and version. So for time being, we are just skipping all this, and you just select focus on this particular thing.
Okay.
Maven, archetype, quickstart. So quickstart application will give you to create a standalone Java application, right? I mean, using Maven, you can create a Java-based web application. You can create Spring-based application. You can create struts. You can create different applications. Okay.
Okay.
So, but now I'm just simply creating a Maven archetype quick start. Okay. Simply quick next, and you need to specify the group ID. So group ID generally the convention is com dot your arg name. Suppose example 3 IT, okay, dot training, okay. So inside that I'm going to give you Maven demo is my artifact ID. So artifact ID typically takes you the name of your application. Okay, the version is 0.0.1 snapshot. If you want to change the version, you can change it to whatever the value you want. Or if you want to start from 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, still you can take that. It's not a big deal. Okay. So generally people will call as a major release and a minor release, or major version or minor version. So major version is nothing but you are changing the version from directly 1 to 2. I mean 1.x to 2.x is the major release. A minor release nothing but 1.2 example currently, and there is a small change is done. In that case, you are going to release 1.3 version. So that is called as minor version. Okay. So
Okay.
you have to take the version accordingly. I mean, whether it is a big change, then change the major version. If it is a small change, you can just simply append one more number, increment by one. That is called as minor version. That we need to take as a developer, whether it is a major version or minor version. Okay.
Okay.
And after that, simply click on finish. Once you click on finish, there is a project called Maven demo is created. So this is the artifact ID, right? So with your artifact ID, Java project will be created and it will give you a certain directory structure. See, and you can identify. See, once I created a Maven project, it is created a pom.xml inside my project, right? If you
Okay.
identify a pom.xml file in your project, it is indicating that your project is a Maven based project. And if
Okay.
you look at, there is a section called Maven dependencies. So currently it contains only one jar. that is called JUnit jar. Why? Because if you open your form.xml file, you are seeing a dependency that is JUnit jar. So that is the reason it is available here. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And so Maven is simply is suggesting some sort of a directory structure for you, basically, right? So don't create your project whatever the way that you want, right? Follow certain standards or conventions, right? So that is the reason this guy is created a folder called src main java. Inside that he created a package for you. So if you look at the package, right, this is what my group ID. See, com.i3it.training is my group ID, and Maven demo is my artifact ID. So the combination of group ID dot artifact ID is going to create a parent directory for you or parent package for you.
Okay.
Okay. And if you observe the line number 8, the packaging by default it is jar file. It will package your application as a jar file.
Okay.
So where it is going to generate, and one more important file you have to remember is target. So this particular target folder comes if your application is a Maven based project. Currently it is empty, right? So,
Yeah.
and Maven contains certain goals. So there is one more concept. I'm using one more word called goals. Okay. So what are the
Okay.
Maven goals basically? Like example, there is a goal called clean. There is a goal called compiling. Clean, compile, package, install. Okay. So these are the various goals your Maven is offered for you. What exactly all these goals are doing basically? We'll try to look at. So right click on your application. If it is a Maven based application, go to run as. If it is Maven application, you are going to see these options. Maven build, Maven clean, Maven install, Maven test. All these are called goals. So suppose
Okay.
example, if I click on Maven install. See, if I click on Maven install, what happens internally? So you just, if you look at your console, there are a lot of things that happen basically, right? So
Yeah.
first thing is it will compile your code. Okay. See, compiling one source file, and because we have only one class, that is the reason which is compiled that particular class, right? And
Yeah.
then test cases are executed. We did not write in any test cases, but your Maven is giving you one class, and inside this particular class you have one test case. So your test case is also executed. Once everything is done, your application will be packaged and copied into your target folder. If you look at, one jar file is generated because you are saying, okay, boss, package my application as a jar file. So that is the reason it is generated your application as a jar file. Correct?
Yeah.
So see, now suppose example, I am going to add few more lines in my class, right? So once I added a few more changes inside my class, I would like to remove the previous generated code base. I mean, previously generated jar file I would like to remove because my class is changed, right? So I need to regenerate the dark class files again. Sometimes the previous code might be still there with your application. It might give you some sort of conflicts with your existing classes. So that is the reason it is better to always remove the existing ones and regenerate the jar file. So in such
Okay.
scenario, right click, and if you want to remove that, there is an option called Maven clean. If you click on Maven clean, so it will remove everything from your target directory. Your target directory is empty now. After that, again you can generate the, right click, maven install. Right? Done. If you again open this guy, right? So basically, maven package is doing that job. Okay. Maven package or install. It is packaging your application, and install has much more options. If you use maven install, if you specify any directory boss, copy this particular jar file and put it somewhere. The install command is what exactly it is doing, you know. So there is a concept called, with respect to the maven, there is a concept called repositories.
Repository, okay.
Repository. So in the initial discussion, right, your maven is downloading all the dependencies. Right? So from where it is downloading and when these particular dependencies are downloaded, we need to understand few things called repositories basically. If you're using maven concept, we need to understand a repository is like a local repository. Okay.
Okay.
Local repository and then remote repository and central repository. Okay, so these are the three concepts which we need to understand. Okay, basically all the jar files are all Java related, be it third-party applications like example Spring, Struts, Hibernate, right? Like example MySQL. All these Java related jar files are available in a centralized place called, there is a maven repository. This is like a go down, okay, where you are
Okay.
going to find each and every jar file of a Java related things. Right? You can search here. Like example, I would like to search MySQL. If you search MySQL, you are going to see what are the various MySQL jar files available. Right? This is like a go down where all Java community people, be it developed by you or be it developed by some organizations, everybody's Java code will be available here. If you wish to use this particular piece of code inside your application, you can simply download and use it. How to use this particular Maven or dependency inside your application? Okay, you search MySQL connector. You click on this particular link and whatever the version that you want. These guys maintain all the versions. See, MySQL connector.jar with different version. The current version is 8, but in my system I'm using only 5.
Yeah.
So click on this particular file. See, this guy is showing you a dependency under Maven. So there is a section called dependency. Click here, automatically it is copied, and copy the dependency, put it inside your pom.xml under dependency section. See, there is a section called dependencies. Inside that, individual dependencies. I paste a dependency here. Okay, I copied from internet. I kept this dependency inside my pom.xml and observe this guy. Okay, and I'm clearing the logs. Just save this guy.
Okay.
Once you save, it is trying to build the workspace and downloading the source and Java. Once it is downloaded, see, your MySQL connector.jar file is available.
Okay.
Right? What happens internally? If you add any dependency inside your pom.xml, for the first time, it will try to, I mean, you must and should connect to internet. For the first time, it will connect to internet and download the given or specific jar. Okay. This particular place, Maven repository is called as a central repository where all the jars are available. Okay, where all the jars are available. Okay, So for the first time, it will download, and once it is downloaded, it will keep a copy inside your system. Okay.
Okay.
So where it is going to store, there is a folder in your users directory or user home directory. It is going and create a folder called .m2. Okay.
Got him. Okay.
If you open users Lenovo, see users Lenovo. This is what my users home directory. See, if you want to know what is your user home directory, click on Windows or command prompt. This will launch inside your user home directory.
Okay. Okay.
Here it is created a .m2 folder, and inside that it is go and create one more folder called repository, and all your repositories will be downloaded here.
Okay. So, like, when we need a repository to find, like, in which situation we need to find repository?
Okay, so basically what happens, right? See, this .m2 folder called as local repository. We have three terms, right? One is your remote repository, and the other one is central repository. For the first time, it will download, and a copy is maintained inside your local repository. From
Okay.
next time onwards, it is not going to download from internet. Okay, it will refer inside your local repository. First, it will check in the M2 folder. Do I have this particular jar file with me? If it is there, it is not going to get it from internet. If it is not there, it will connect from internet and make it available for your application.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And this thing is behind the scenes. Here just to for your reference. Generally, the downloaded jar files will be available in this location, .m2 folder. This .m2 folder called as a local repository. And in this
Okay.
case, it is downloaded only one jar. See, I added one dependency. It is downloaded one jar for me. If I add some other dependency, but it may download one or more jars, correct?
Yeah.
So that is the reason dependency is nothing but it contains or it download a single jar or it provides multiple jars for you. So we
Okay.
understood the central repository, we understood the local repository. What do you mean
Okay.
by remote repository? So remote repository is nothing but generally when you start working on a project for one organization, people won't trust all the jars, right? Like example, if you look at your central repository and struts, struts. If you type struts, the struts jars also available. See 2.5.22. I'll simply copy, and if you put it, struts jar will be downloaded. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
because it is available in the central repository. But my organization policy is enforcing me to not to download struts to jars or any struts jars as per se. So how do I restrict the downloading jars? Or I am going to maintain a list of jars which are verified by my organization. Okay, don't download from internet, from whatever the source that you know. So we have a dedicated space for our organization where we are maintaining a list of jars which are approved by our organization, right?
Okay.
So that particular repository called as a remote repository, which are typically managed by your organizations. Managed by organizations,
Organizations. Okay.
right? So I don't want to allow all type of jar files to download. Okay. So in such scenario, you can go for the remote repositories,
Okay.
right? So we
Yeah.
have remote repositories, we have local repository, central repository. Okay. Just for your knowledge, I'm sharing this. And we have goals like clean, compile, package, and install. And when you click on this install, right, what really happens? It will package your application. The packaged application will be copied into your local repository.
Okay.
Right? That is what exactly it is happening. If you click on Maven install, Maven install, see if you observe these lines, right? Installing means this is generated a jar file. The generated jar file will be copied into your C local repository .m2 com.i3it training maven demo, right? Where this particular location your jar is copied. If you want to check whether this is available or not, what is that? Com.i3it, right? See, i3it training maven demo snapshot. Your jar is available here now. This is what exactly the meaning of install. When you run an maven install command, it will package your application and copy it into your M2 folder if it is a jar file. If it is a WAR file, you can specify where to install your WAR file, be it in a Tomcat, be it in a some other server. You can specify in the while packaging your application as a WAR file. That is what exactly meaning of your install means. Packaging means it will only do a package, a jar file. It does not go and copy your jar into M2 folder. The
Okay.
goal. So clean means it will remove everything. Compile means it will compile your source code if it is modified. Package means whatever the packaging section you mentioned, jar or var or is going to package. Install means it will copy that packaged application, be it a jar file or var file, and install in the specified location, be it in a local repository or inside a Tomcat. That is what exactly happening behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
So if you add this particular dependency, it is directly available. In previous example, right, we manually downloaded this particular jar file and we added to our class path when we are doing the JDBC examples. See here you are seeing a section called reference library. Under that it is available. And while you are packaging also, we need to explicitly tell boss this application is depending on this jar, you have to package this jar file also. But here it is not required. Everything is taken care by your Maven.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just stopping and disconnect and I will connect again. Okay. Just
Okay. Yeah.